Welcome back. Now, seeking to strengthen America's financial foothold in Africa, President Obama announced $33 billion in commitments last week aimed at shifting U.S. ties with Africa beyond humanitarian aid and more toward economic partnerships. Africa 54's Paul Ndiho has more.
More than two-thirds of the population of sub-Saharan Africa is without electricity, and more than 80% of those living in rural areas lack access to power. The Power Africa initiative is expected to build on Africa's enormous power potential, including new discoveries of vast reserves of oil and gas. Africa also has the potential to develop clean geothermal, hydro, wind and solar energy. Andrew Haskowitz, the U.S. coordinator for Power Africa, says that life is extremely difficult without power.
Power is essential for any society, Africa, United States, anywhere. We take it for granted. But if you don't have power, children can't study at night, health clinics can't provide essential services, life-saving equipment can't operate, companies can't compete when they have to run on expensive diesel generators. So when you look at all the constraints to growth in Africa and developing world, they must always come back to power.
President Barack Obama's Power Africa initiative is aiming to expand electricity access to at least 60 million households and businesses. Speaking to African and business leaders at the U.S. Africa Business Forum, President Obama said he wants to capitalize on new opportunities on the continent.
We want to partner with Africa to build the infrastructure that economies need to flourish. And that starts with electricity, which most Africans still lack. And that's why last year, while traveling throughout the continent, I announced a bold initiative, Power Africa, to double access to electricity in sub-Saharan Africa and help bring electricity to more than 20 million African homes and businesses.
Tom Corgan, a regional program director for African Development Foundation, says that the organization is partnering with General Electric and USAID in 6 African countries.
We're funding off-grid energy projects that are funding both business-related projects, but also schools and other facilities. So it could be solar, it could be wind-powered, it could be microhydro, it could be biogas, so people can have access to electricity when they're not connected to the grid.
The World Bank forecasts Africa's economic growth will accelerate at more than 5% in 2015 and 2016. But estimates that 1 in 3 Africans, or 600 million people, need electricity. Internationally known hip-hop and R&B artist Akon is also doing his part to Power Africa. His initiative, Akon Lighting Africa project, is striving to bring electricity to more than 1 million households in Africa by the end of this year.
We wanted to be able to put ourselves in a position to get to the people, because ultimately the people of Africa have to do it. And me being African, I'm part of the people, so I wanted to be in a position where I create an initiative to where no matter where and how or what face that you may be able to be facing, there's a way to make it work. And me coming from the entertainment system, coming into energy and never knew nothing about energy, to create opportunities like this shows that anyone can actually do it.
The U.S. is hardly alone in visualizing Africa's economic potential. China, India, and Europe are moving aggressively to tap into the continent's growing markets. The Asian nation is eager to develop the roads, bridges, and ports needed to build Africa's infrastructure. Paul Ndiho, VOA News.